Hello, my friend. Welcome to your sleep story. My name is Stephen Dalton, and as always, it is my privilege to be the voice that you choose to listen to as you go to sleep tonight. In tonight's story, we meet a young woman called Rebecca who discovers a very special wardrobe in her new home. A wardrobe that gives her a magical power, the power of time travel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a regular listener, you know you are welcome. As always, before we start the story and the relaxation exercise, just a little reminder that comments, subscriptions, and likes help keep this channel alive. And so I would ask you, whether it's tonight or in the morning when you wake up refreshed, please let me know how you're getting on with the channel. It means a lot, and as you'll see, I often reply. Okay, let's get relaxed before the story. Feel how your body is just lying here. All you have to do in this moment is notice. Keep it simple. Breathe in slowly through your nose and out through your mouth. Notice how your stomach rises and falls. Now, imagine a color. Perhaps it's your favorite color. Now, bring your self-awareness to your chest. Feel free to put your hand on it. And feel inside yourself. And imagine your color as a bright light. In the beginning, it is a small sphere of light, sitting in the center of your chest. Now, expand this light with every breath. Let it grow a little larger until it has become a sphere of light which surrounds your chest. Breathe in and out naturally, and see how this energy expands more and more. Your whole body is now enveloped in this radiant color. Notice that every cell of your body glows in this color. It flows from your arms to your torso, onto your neck, your head, and moves into your chest, to your abdomen, flows and pulsates in a calm stream of colored light. It flows into your pelvic floor, into your thighs, to your lower legs, to your feet. Feel into your toes and feel the pleasant warmth and flow of energy that is now circulating in your body. Allow this to bring peace to you, and just let go. There once was a woman called Rebecca. Now, you don't need to know very much about Rebecca, apart from the fact that she'd always been a dreamer. She always had her head lost in the clouds, contemplating the mysteries of life. However, lately, she'd been feeling a little weary, as though the magic of the world had faded away. One day, as Rebecca wandered through the streets of her hometown, she came across a beautiful old Victorian house for sale. The house was charming, a mixture of faded grandeur and elegant decay. It had creeping ivy up its walls and a garden that was overrun with wildflowers. And for some reason, Rebecca felt inexplicably drawn to this house, as though it perhaps held the answers to the big questions that she had been asking herself. Looking at it, she felt safe, and she decided in that moment to buy it. She was lucky enough to have some savings, and she knew it was a bold move. But it was time for Rebecca to take charge of her life and to break free from the monotony that had been weighing her down. It wasn't long until she had moved in, and Rebecca felt something beautiful about this decision. Every day she would explore the house, which was filled with nooks and crannies, hidden rooms, and even secret passageways, which seemed to fuel Rebecca's imagination. However, the most intriguing discovery was made in the attic. One summer afternoon, as Rebecca climbed the creaky stairs to the top floor, she came across a massive antique wardrobe nestled in the corner. Now this wardrobe was made of dark, polished wood with intricate carvings of mythical creatures and celestial patterns etched into its surface. Its doors were adorned with ornate brass handles, and the craftsmanship was exquisite. It appeared to Rebecca to be an object of great value and importance. Rebecca reached out and slowly opened its doors. The interior was amazing, lined with luxurious, dark, purple velvet, which seemed to shimmer in the dim attic light. It was so beautiful and so big, and she felt so safe that Rebecca felt compelled to step inside the wardrobe. And as she did, a light came on inside the wardrobe, which seemed to be shining upon another door in the back of the wardrobe. Rebecca pushed this second door and couldn't quite believe what happened next. As she pushed the door, it swung open with a soft creak, revealing not the wall behind the wardrobe, but a breathtaking landscape that Rebecca had never seen before. She saw rolling hills, lush vineyards, beautiful olive groves, and the sun shone brightly overhead. Whitewashed buildings with terracotta roofs dotted the landscape, while in the distance the crystal clear waters of what looked like the Mediterranean Sea sparkled. Rebecca felt the warmth of the late afternoon sun on her skin, and the gentle breeze carrying the scent of blooming flowers and fragrant herbs. She stepped out of the wardrobe and into this enchanting place. She walked along a beach. The calming waters of the sea adding to her feeling of safety. Soon, she found herself in a bustling marketplace, and it was in this moment that Rebecca realized she was not in her time. She looked towards a big building on a hill. It looked familiar, and she realized she was indeed in ancient Greece, and the building that she was looking at was a freshly built Parthenon. She looked around and marveled at the vibrant atmosphere of this different time. Humans just being humans. In some ways, she was struck by the normality of it all. She was in a different time, but people are people, she thought. But on the other hand, this was deeply fascinating to see how these people lived. As she walked, she saw an older man sitting on the steps of a temple. He looked wise, serene, and he was dressed simply in a tunic, wearing a long white beard, and he had piercing blue eyes that seemed to see right through her. Intrigued, Rebecca struck up a conversation with the man. And as they spoke, something about him reminded her of a college course she took once. She realized that she was talking to none other than the famous Stoic philosopher Zeno of Citium. In the presence of this man, Rebecca felt so at peace. And over the course of their conversation, Zeno imparted to Rebecca a timeless lesson in life. He explained to her the importance of focusing on the things that she could control, rather than dwelling on the circumstances that she could not change. He spoke of the impermanence of material possessions and the futility of seeking validation from others. Life is like a river, Zeno told her. It constantly flows and changes. And if you try to grasp the water, it will only slip through your fingers. But if you accept the flow and adapt to its course, you will find peace. Rebecca listened intently, absorbing every word. In this moment, she began to see that her feelings of weariness and discontent stemmed from her futile attempts to control the uncontrollable, and that the key to happiness lay in embracing the present moment and the opportunities that it presented. Her heart was filled with gratitude, and Rebecca thanked Zeno for his wisdom and set out to explore the wonders of ancient Greece further. She visited the magnificent Parthenon, marveling at its towering columns. She strolled through the beautiful gardens of the Academy, where the great philosophers gathered to discuss their ideas. And, feeling satisfied, Rebecca returned to the wardrobe and walked back through the mysterious door and found herself in her new home once more, feeling safe and secure, and a little lighter and more at peace after her encounter with Zeno of Citium. The next night, her curiosity piqued. Rebecca decided to see where the door would take her this time. And as she stepped through the wardrobe, she was once again transported to a different time and place. This time, she found herself standing on the banks of a mighty river. She looked around her, not completely sure of where she was, but always feeling safe. And in the distance, the far, far distance, she saw what looked like great triangles rising from the earth. Rebecca was standing on the banks of the river Nile in ancient Egypt. The sun was setting, casting a golden hue over the shimmering waters. The air was warm and fragrant, with the scent of lotus flowers traveling with the wind. She could see the silhouettes of boats gracefully gliding across the Nile, while the distant sound of people singing and playing music filled the air. As Rebecca wandered along the riverbank, she took some deep breaths in and out, in and out. She took in the beauty of her surroundings. Then, sitting in front of her, looking out upon the river, was a very regal-looking woman. The woman, dressed in flowing white linen and adorned with intricate gold jewelry, exuded an air of grace and serenity. Her ebony hair was adorned with fragrant flowers and her coal-lined eyes held a depth of knowledge that intrigued Rebecca. Rebecca had seen pictures of Cleopatra, images of what she might have looked like, but nothing could have prepared Rebecca for the majesty of this woman. She sensed Rebecca's curiosity and beckoned her to sit beside her on the riverbank. And as they sat together, watching the sun dip below the horizon, Cleopatra shared stories of ancient Egypt's powerful pharaohs, captivating myths, and the mysteries of the universe. She spoke of the importance of balance and harmony in life, explaining that the ancient Egyptians believed in the concept of Ma'at, the harmony that exists in the world when everything is in its rightful place. To live a fulfilled life, she told Rebecca, one must strive to maintain balance in all aspects of existence, between the heart and the mind, between work and leisure, and between giving and receiving. The young woman listened intently to Cleopatra. She listened to the wisdom, the timeless wisdom of this ancient culture. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, reflecting off the calm surface of the Nile, Rebecca realized that the lessons she was learning through her journeys were helping her to rediscover the magic and the wonder that she once had felt in her life. The two women then said goodbye to each other, a connection made through the ages, and with tears in their eyes, they parted. Soon, Rebecca was back in her attic and went to sleep that night with even more peace in her heart. The next night, Rebecca approached the wardrobe once more. She opened the door and stepped inside. As she emerged, she found herself in 19th century England. Of course, she didn't know where or when she was, but she was soon to find out. The charming countryside unfolded before her, with rolling green hills, neatly hedged fields, and quaint little cottages dotting the landscape. It was a beautiful spring day, and she could hear the clip-clop of horse-drawn carriages in the distance, and the soft rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze. Rebecca walked and walked, and soon found herself in a little village where people in bonnets and top hats went about their daily business. There was an air of elegance and propriety that she had only ever witnessed in the pages of her favorite novels. She explored the village further, and then, as she passed by a little shop, a candle shop to be precise, she heard the voice of the shopkeeper bidding a Miss Austen goodbye. It couldn't be, Rebecca thought. But then, when she saw the face of the woman, Miss Austen, Rebecca recognized the famous writer instantly. Standing in front of her was none other than Jane Austen. one of Rebecca's literary heroes. Jane could see that the young woman standing in front of her was curious, and so welcomed her into her modest home for tea. And so it was that over steaming cups of tea and plates of delicious biscuits, the two women engaged in conversation, discussing the nuances of life, love, and society in 19th century England. Jane shared her insights into the complexities of human relationships, emphasizing the importance of patience, understanding, and the art of truly knowing oneself. She spoke of the balance between practicality and romantic ideals, as well as the significance of having a sense of humor as we navigate life's challenges. Rebecca listened attentively, absorbing every word, feeling a profound connection with the brilliant author. In that moment, she realized that the stories she had read and cherished were not only reflections of the world in which they were written, but also timeless lessons that transcended the boundaries of time and place. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the beautiful village, Rebecca knew it was time to leave. The two women said goodbye. As Rebecca thanked Jane Austen for a delightful afternoon and the wisdom that she had shared. The next night, Rebecca entered the wardrobe one more time, eager to discover where her next adventure would take her. She stepped through and found herself in a lush, sun-drenched meadow. And as she looked around, she saw a young man sitting under a tree, deeply absorbed in thought. She approached him, and as she got closer, the face was unmistakable. It was none other than a very young Nelson Mandela. Rebecca felt deeply curious as she looked at the man who would one day become one of the greatest leaders and humanitarians of the 20th century. Now, despite his youth, Mandela's poise and wisdom were evident. He welcomed her with a warm smile and invited her to join him under the tree. And as they sat together, taking in the world around them, Mandela shared his dreams and aspirations with Emma. He spoke of his desire to create a better world, one in which all people could live together in harmony, united by the one thing they all had in common: their humanity. Each one of us, Mandela told her, has the power to make a difference. No matter how small our actions may seem, it is through our collective efforts that we can bring about positive change in the world. As they continued their conversation, Rebecca was deeply inspired by this man's passion and unwavering belief in the potential for good within each human. She understood in that moment that change could only come through determination, cooperation, and a belief in the inherent goodness of humanity. as the sun began to set, Rebecca said goodbye to the young Nelson Mandela and thanked him for sharing his dreams and insights with her, and vowed to carry his message of hope and love with her on her future journeys. That night, Rebecca walked out of the wardrobe for the last time. She knew that she had learned what she needed, and that this gift or power of time travel was given to her for a reason. She now wanted to put into practice the lessons that she had learned, and she felt forever changed by her encounters with those remarkable humans. She had found her sense of wonder again.